All right, guys, we got a good show for you today. We have Silas Demary Jr. He wants to take a title with Millbrook. Radford just offered him. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, so I was watching a bunch of highlights. I've gotten to talk to a ton of players from around the country. NFL, NBA, high school, and you're one of the players that stand out to me. I watched one of your games, state championship, on YouTube. And you had 22 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. You guys won in overtime. Talk about that game.
That game was pretty crazy. It was a whole lot of up and down, a whole lot of positive, negative things that happened. But we just stayed the course. Even though we're in the overtime, we've been there before, so I just knew that I had the confidence in myself and my team to win that game.
Yeah, before the game, how'd you prepare for it? It's probably a little different feeling, going to a state championship in most games, right?
Yeah, it's a different feeling, but you prep the same way you would prep every other game. You don't want to make it more than what it is. Just play the game like how you would play any other game.
Yeah. Your team had a 19-0 record. State champion. What do you guys do? You feel like that was the biggest thing, to make you guys have such a successful season?
I felt like we all like knew how we played, so we had roles, so everybody played their role to how they should. Nobody went outside of their role, so I felt like everybody did what they're supposed to do. Nobody did more than what they needed to.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta ask you this question more than any other because you guys, obviously had great team chemistry. What do you value most in like a teammate?
Just having trust, because they have to trust. They have to trust you a lot to be able to be on the floor with you. So just having the right trust with your teammate.
Yeah. So you're playing AAU now. You're with Team Curry. I saw you had a good Rock Hill Invitational. What's it like? You're 2023. You're starting to get some coaches. To IU. How's the AAU circuit and all that going for you?
So we haven't started UA. We started next weekend, but like just the tournaments we've played so much national competition. Like the stage that Curry puts you on, they put you on a platform to know that if you're one of those good players, they're gonna put you out there so you play the competition that you need to.
Yeah, I have to ask. COVID limited a lot of people. Me and the guys helping with the show were all Division I athletes. It was hard. For our recruiting class because we never got to meet our coaches and stuff. You're
Yeah.
2023, recruiting I imagine was a little stalled for you because of that. But how are you getting recruited? What's the big things going on?
So I've been hearing from Georgetown, Tennessee, Radford, a whole bunch of other schools. So they just contact me because they can't really like call me yet till like June. But like hearing stuff from my coaches, that's what I really only heard so far.
Are you guys doing any Zoom or is not really?
Yeah. It's Zooms every now and then, but they don't do it as much because I think in June it'll be a lot more, or it'll actually be less because they'll actually be able to come watch games now.
Yeah, that'll be nice. I saw you got your first offer, a month ago about. Congrats on that. What was it like? Where were you at? It's always a special.
So it was weird because it was like late. It was like 11:15. And I was sitting at the table doing homework, and then I got a call, and they was like, "We want to offer you," and I was like, "Wow!" It was crazy because I always thought like, where would I be or what I would be doing? I get my first offer.
Yeah, that's nice. You were home. For me, I was working, and my boss said I was fired if I didn't hang up the phone. I said, "Dude, I got an offer. I'm not hanging up this phone."
Yeah.
So I'm interested. Everyone's got a little different story. How did you get into basketball yourself?
I think I just got into basketball because I was like one of those kids that was just trying out all the sports. So it wasn't like I picked basketball because my main sport is football, but I just picked up basketball. So
yeah. What do you think's the best play you ever made in basketball? It could be 4-year-old. It could be now.
the best play has to be that steal I got so far. It has to be the steal I got in state championship game.
Yeah, I have to ask. I saw on like your Twitter background you had Kobe. Is that your favorite player growing up? As a kid?
He's one of my favorite players.
Did you look up to any former players or anyone getting into basketball?
I mean, no, not like looking up. I mean, I'll say more football because I never really like was good at basketball at first. So I looked up more like in the football aspect of people who I looked up to. But recently, since I started getting into basketball, I started looking up to like LeBron, CP3, and all of them.
Yeah. How would you describe your game to somebody that's never watched you play?
I would say I'm an all-around player. I can do whatever you need. I can get a stop, a bucket, and I'm a great leader.
Yeah. Who's been the biggest influence on your, career, you think?
I would say my dad and my trainer, Anthony Simmons, and my mom.
Yeah, just being there consistently every day, helping you.
Yeah.
So, you talked about your football, right? You played that
Mm-hmm.
in your life. You're probably, got a lot to improve as everyone does. What's the biggest thing you think you're working on? So, hey, when you're in college, you can be that instant contributor.
I would say what I need to work on is just shooting the ball, like shooting a three ball more in the game, because everybody know I can get to the rim, but just showing I can shoot the three too.
Yeah. When you're like working on that, is it more just a lot of reps, or are you guys working on like form? What's it more for you?
It's a mix of both.
All right. Yeah. What's the best piece of advice you think you've ever heard at this point?
Trust the process. It's gonna come when you don't think it's gonna come. Just be patient and trust that your work is gonna pay off.
Yeah. Final couple questions. When you're playing a game, right? Do you know if it's like your night? You're like, hey, I feel really good tonight, or is it just kind of happen as the game progresses for you?
I'd say it's a mix of both because like I want to say we were playing Lumberton and like I remember scoring like the first like 8 points. I was like, yeah, I'm hot, and then it'll be nights where you like, oh, I'm actually cooking. Like I didn't even know because it's just in the flow of the game.
Yeah. Okay. So the score doesn't matter. You're killing a team by 30. You can hit any dunk, even if you can't do it now. What would you do?
I do it East Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice one. I gotta ask. If this is the final question, it's always our hardest one. When your basketball career is over, down the line, how do you want people to remember yourself?
I want people to remember me as the guy that didn't just play basketball. He helped outside. He helped his community. He helped outside of basketball, just in every aspect, like helping the community, helping the homeless shelter, all things like that.
Yeah. Well, Silas, appreciate you coming on. We've had like 80 guys come on in the first couple months. We're working on building a little studio for our college. So, it means a lot to give athletes like you a voice. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.